Kani anak company kari ay would sa company yes may tong special ISO.
But you just can't come back here. There might be some dogs. Some dogs that may get you. Now, I understood what that meant. That meant that if you come back here, we might put one up in you. Wow. Let's just be real. Mississippi, how you doing? I'm good. It's good to see you.
Listen. If you all have not yet subscribed to Jackson's channel, go ahead and shout it out for me.
Yes, it is Coopscorner here on YouTube, and I'm in a part of South Africa. I don't want to give away where we are, but I am currently in South Africa, and it's good to be here again.
Guys, listen, y'all got to go check out Coopscorner. Coop, he doing it. He really, really is. But tonight, I got to tell y'all something. He has visited one of the most spoken about places that are in South Africa, right? It is called Orania. And to all my South African family, if I've said that wrong, you have permission to correct me. All right? You got permission. Because y'all good at correcting me. And I don't mind. Y'all know I mess everything up. I'm a Southerner. So anyway, we're going to be talking about Orania tonight. And if y'all haven't seen it yet, go back to Coopscorner. I think it's probably been about
5 days now.
5 days ago only? God,
Yeah.
It seems like it seems longer. Go back and check out that video. Listen, y'all got to understand something. Let me just explain Orania to you. Orania is a town, and I know they corrected you on that. It's a town. Johannesburg is a city. Orania is a town. And it's a town where Afrikaners,
Yes,
am I
ma'am.
saying that right?
Yes,
Or
ma'am. Afrikaners. You said it right.
Afrikaners, okay, good. They actually live there, and only Afrikaners live there. Now, I'm going to let Coop tell you a little bit about the rules and regulations to live in Orania, and I want to hear what you all think. Those of you, my South African family, and I want to hear what y'all think, but also my family from the U.S., I got to hear what y'all saying too, because I'm over here, and I'm in a place where it's 90% black folks, y'all. And we got a whole town dedicated to Afrikaners. Y'all know what that mean, right? I ain't gonna tell you right now. But anyway, Coop, let's just shed some light on this thing. So tell us about why you decided to visit, what it really is, and we'll jump into it. Because, I heard about the population and all of that. We'll get into the particulars, but tell me a little bit about why you wanted to visit Orania.
Orania. So I wanted to visit because I believe from a Black American's perspective that we kind of understand racism differently. So if you know South Africa's history with apartheid, that was up there with us in Jim Crow. So I just wanted to see it for myself how a all-white town with Afrikaners is ran. So I went by myself. I took a bus from Johannesburg to Hopetown, South Africa. And then, as you saw, I was escorted by the Hopetown police because there weren't any taxis. So then we made it into Hopetown. No, we made it into close to Orania, and I got that Airbnb. Crazy experience because it seemed like they didn't want black people there, but you know me, I just roll with the punches.
With a name like Jackson Cooper, how would you ever know?
Right.
American maybe, but black,
Yeah,
nah.
that's true.
No.
That's
So
true.
listen, I saw, y'all got to go back and check out the video, watch the entire video. You got to watch the entire video. This is very interesting. And I know that you didn't set out to say I'm a journalist, but you have definitely become a journalist. And this is definitely a documentary, y'all. It is, because just in 2025, we have a place called Orania where it's in a country where it's 93% blacks. They're the minority, and they got their whole town. What is wrong with y'all? Why But anyway, I heard you met some very nice people. Let's just go on the book saying that. Everybody was very cordial.
Yes, they were.
What should I say? Anyway, y'all go watch the video. Everyone was very cordial, very welcoming, and all of that. They gave some very good information. But my question to you, and I don't know if you actually heard this or not, but my question to you was, they said that, and I'm going to use words that they may have not said, but I think they mean the same. The young man mentioned that Orania was basically settled back in 1988 or 87.
Around that time.
But then it became Orania in 1991.
Canals from the Orange River that flows by the town, yeah? They set up the town for the workers, to be able to live while they are building the dam, building the canals. From there, everybody moved out. People moved out. It was left as a ghost town because the project was finished. And then after a while, they put the town up for sale. And then a group of Orania pioneers, as we call them, they put their money together to buy the town. And that was in 1991.
A great question. Now, they were saying that that land was full of people who were digging in the mines because it's in like a desert area. So when you go out there, you kind of can see where they would be digging. And the way he explained it was that there were no people there. Now, I kind of didn't believe him to like a certain extent because people kind of inhabit everywhere. And like in that area, I was told that there were some Bushman tribes and things. So my opinion was that they said pretty much you got to leave, but they're saying that it was uninhabited. People just worked there and they just made it a town.
That's interesting. Now, when they also mentioned something that was interesting about being Christians.
Yes.
Now, did they have a particular Bible that they follow, or was it just the Holy Bible that we all, did they, because I know they said something about some bylaws. And I didn't know if that went with being a Christian or just some bylaws for the community.
Yes, ma'am. So you have to be an Afrikaner, of Afrikaner descent. You have to speak Afrikaans. This is the only Afrikaans-speaking city. So they were talking to me in English because I was a tourist. If not, everything is in Afrikaans. And they are all Christians. They go by the Christian faith.
But the people who live and work in Orania are Afrikaners.
Yes.
Christian Afrikaners, to be more specific.
I have a question that it's not for you. It's
Okay.
for my Afrikaners. It's for my Afrikaner family, which I've met and greeted so many of you, and you all are very kind people. But if you all share in the same belief as those that are in Orania, my question to you is, aren't we all serving God our Father? Or is it that we can all serve him, but we just can't live together? I mean, does that
Yeah.
sound to you?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
It does? It sounds like it.
Oh, no, like-
it sounds like that's what they're saying.
What like you're saying sound.
Okay, so I would love to, and I know that you all didn't get into any kind of conversation about religion, but some of my Afrikaners, if you are looking at this video and you happen to come across it, I would like to know, as being Christians and having one God, our Father, what is it that I need to know about living in Orania that I'm missing? Is that a good question?
That's a real good question.
Yeah, that kind of puzzled me a bit about that because they all seem very nice, very kind, and I even get what they're saying as far as they want to uplift or keep their culture. I didn't really learn what that culture was, though. I didn't hear too much about it. Do you have any information that you can add to that? Did they share some of the things with you?
It's just their culture. They say that they like to bake kook sisters.
I saw that, the sweets. It was nice. It was nice, though.
Yo, plus like the cookies that I got. Now, like one thing that I got to give Ronnie, those cookies were freaking amazing that they baked. I don't know what was in them, but they were really, really good.
Right.
So, but not like the people were very cordial.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, but I think it did come through too with how I approached it. Cause like I kind of told them from the jump, look, I'm not coming in here with any preconceived notions. I'm coming here to understand your point of view from my viewpoint, if that makes sense. He said, okay, I get you. So that was it.
So at any time were you enlightened? What was your point of view going in?
That's a good question. Was I?
Well, let's go back to what your point of view was
Going in. So point of view going in, I knew this was an all-white town
Okay.
in South Africa. That's what blows people's mind, because it's still mind-blowing. But
Yeah.
like once you're in it, it's not really as like mind-blowing, because you're like, okay, this is actually here now, so you got to kind of live with it at that point.
Well, and also just don't forget that thought.
Yes, ma'am.
As I'm thinking about it, that happens. We don't necessarily call them towns, but pretty much we all kind of live together in what we are used to. I said I'm not mad at it all. You know, people of like minds, of like status, of like, they said culture, but they all pretty much, we do kind of find our way together.
Yes, ma'am.
But I think what is throwing me is that we are Christians. And for you to say that I have to speak a certain language, and then I often wonder, I want to go back, but what if I learned that language? Would I then be accepted?
Ooh.
That's just a thought. Let's put a bullet in that. I'm all over
Right.
the place because Orania had me thinking. You know, it had me thinking. I'm thinking, oh, wow. So, but before we do that, your point of view was, this is an all-white town
Yes, ma'am.
in South Africa, which is 93%
Black.
blacks. So they are the minority.
Yes.
Okay, and then what else did you have for your point of view?
So I mean, that was pretty much it. Just go in there with an open mind and just kind of wonder too why they have monuments of all these apartheid leaders. That as well.
I did see that, but I ain't gonna lie, I zonked out on that time.
Okay.
Because I didn't understand that either. I didn't even understand the cookie, but it was nice. And I did understand that he says, if we need something and these ladies in Orania need something, they're going to start baking. So I thought that was very, very nice. That the fact of the matter, they're going to go out there, they're going to be them Proverbs 31 women, and they're going to get it done.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, so I love that. I love that. And I also like the fact that he said that even in this Orania town, we still have theft, we still have domestic violence, we still have all the things that every other township and city has everywhere in the U.S. and here in South Africa. So how were you enlightened?
That's a good point that you mentioned that, because that kind of made me raise an eyebrow really for one main reason. It kind of showed me that he was open to telling the truth about certain stuff. So that made me more like, okay, so this guy's being honest, because he was talking about domestic violence, like you said.
Yeah, I thought
crime still happened.
Yeah.
I actually witnessed a car accident, and they were arguing.
I heard it.
It was crazy. So these are really regular people.
Yes.
They're just in their own enclave in South Africa.
Right. And like I said, I can see that because we do have some tribalness about us.
Yeah.
Even the people from the United States, y'all know y'all do. Mama live right here on the corner. Her two daughters live around the street. We do that. And I'm not knocking it. That happens.
Okay.
That happens a lot. So I'm not knocking them for that. I'm just really sold on the brand of Christianity.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And because I take that very serious. That's a serious part of my life. And when someone tells me I have to learn a certain language to how far do we go with that? Okay, to live here. Okay, I don't want to live here, but can we fellowship? Can we eat dinner together? Can we pray together? That kind of stuff comes up in my mind. So, what do you think? I mean, really?
No.
Really? Okay, so were you enlightened by anything?
Yeah, so I mean, okay, so you're asking, could we eat and pray with them? I'm going to say, because I was getting comments afterwards saying, hey, come back and let's do a braai and this and that.
Oh, that's cool.
For people in Orania, but I kind of was thinking you might feel that way, but the whole community would say, we don't allow that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because actually, the first guy that I talked to, Franz, I don't know how can I put this.
He was a young fellow.
He was super cool. And I know how to read people. So he wasn't putting on the front, but you could tell that he was in that so much, he had to become it, if that makes sense. I feel like if he wasn't in that environment, he would be a totally different person.
He was born into it.
Right.
Yeah, he was born. He said that he was born in 91?
95 or
he
something
was born.
like
He was born years later. 90. Yeah, he was born there though. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he knows nothing else.
Right.
But
good heart though. Good dude.
But also, in time things change.
Mm-hmm.
So I think due to the internet, social media, the world is so connected. It's probably going to be very difficult for Orania to remain the way that it is.
So you think that Orania is not going to stand the test of time?
I do not.
I didn't say that. Get that camera off of me. I didn't say no. I'm joking.
I mean, my Iranian family. I'm calling y'all family because y'all say y'all Christians. I'm calling you family. Because we all call on the name of God. Y'all Christians. I can't see how at any given time you could say, being a true Christian, could say to me, I can't do nothing for you. I can't help you. I would. It brings up so many questions. It just makes God not real. It kind of makes, it throws, it's like, okay, well, where is that written?
Right.
What church is he coming back? Are you all going to be left behind? The whole community, the whole town of California left behind? I can't imagine that. So, I just think that, I don't think it's going to stand the test of time. I think, Donald Trump is all in South African business, and 5 years ago he wasn't.
Right. You're right.
So we brothers and sisters, y'all. we may look a little different, but that's all it is. But I do understand though. I don't want to live around everybody either, y'all. I mean, just to let y'all know, I'm cool on that. I don't want everybody to be my neighbor either. So I understand y'all.
I do too.
I do understand you, but I say Christian.
The Christian part,
Yeah.
Christianity.
And then I did hear him say that, and this is another part that I know that I feel like is not going to stand the test of time, because he said when it initially started out it was 2,500 people. Now it's over 10,000. And there were some people there that have only been there a year, some only 2 years. And they have lived in Pretoria and other places, so they've been exposed to other things.
Here we go.
Yeah. It's not going to be a bad thing. It's just how do you make that transformation? Transformation is good, but y'all ain't got to listen to me. I'm just talking. But I'm willing to have all my Oranian and my Afrikaners to chime in on this, because again, like I said, I'm here. I'm from the U.S. You're from the U.S. So we're just learning, and Orania is definitely special.
So when you mentioned that, you said, what did you just say? Because it kind of just like slipped my mind. You just mentioned
2,500 people.
Bingo.
Up to 10,000, and some just recently within a year they've moved there.
So did you hear when Mr. Yu said that he wants this to become a city eventually, not a town? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
So
but that's what's got to happen though.
So he was saying, because and Orania is bigger than what people think it is. Like, it's actually like a big town. It can actually become a city. Just from like the viewpoint of it, I could see it becoming a city to a certain extent.
So you like I ain't gonna say a major metropolitan, but some agriculture, some office buildings, some things.
They already got office buildings.
Oh, I didn't see any. Oh, I did.
I didn't get too many of them.
I saw
but
some. Plazas, right?
Yes,
right.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you're saying like a major city, like as in
Johannesburg. No, they're not gonna have it.
No, they're not gonna have that. But they still more jobs, more
schools. They want to build more colleges there, schools.
Okay, and see with that, it's got to change. It's got to change.
But they're like working with other communities. So their closest hospital, I think, is like 160 kilometers. So they built like a helipad so that if somebody was in dire. So like these people are really building a community.
I think they should.
Right, but Mrs. Sabu, this is the thing. You were saying that South Africa is 97% black, 3% white, right? 3% Caucasian white.
Yeah, something.
So if the black people aren't able to build those resources up, and because they do funding and everything, that's how they get their money. Like Mr. You said, the people donate to them. I can only imagine the type of donations they get worldwide.
So you don't think that South Africa actually pours into Orania?
Of course, but like they get stuff from outside too. But of course,
yeah, and it makes you wonder why. It's strange, because again, South Africa is 93% black people.
You said 93. I'm sorry, 93. Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
93.
I don't know, but still, that means that there is some black person that is pouring into a government. Pouring into Orania, and you just said I can't come.
Yes, I mean,
and people all around the world, like you said, it's not going to withstand. It will withstand far as Orania, but I'm talking about with the same bylaws that it has right now. There will be some things will die off, and it always has to.
But let me mention this to the people, because I don't think that they may not understand what Orania is. So they have their own flag, their own currency. They literally have their own situation going on. So that should be, I look at it as motivation, Mrs. Sabu. I was looking like, hold on, y'all able to get all of this, even though you got some backing, quote unquote we, even though I don't speak French, like that whole we stuff is starting to wear on me a little bit. We should come together more and try to do something along those lines, because it is fly. I'm not gonna lie, like to have your own shops.
It's very fly. I'm just sitting here thinking about the flag now, the strong man,
the
little boy. I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking, should there be him and a South African flag also?
Not according to them.
See, I'm saying, we got to keep this. I just always take it back to God and His principles. Is He okay with this? Is He okay? If He's okay, I'm okay. But going back to His principles, I don't think He would be okay. I think we need to all be together in some way. But again, Again, I say I understand the living situation, but this thing it gets bigger. But again, listen, if our people, if other South Africans, because they have the same ability to do the same thing in another plot of land somewhere that is not owned by anybody, then they should probably do the same thing. Or, like they should do like they've done. I think that they've pretty much allowed Iranian to be what it is. And don't bother them. And I like the fact that they don't bother them either. So that part is cool. But times are changing. Like I said, sometimes things just have to die off. I think that's a lot about the United States. It's beyond correcting. Things just have to die off.
Now, see, Mrs. Sabu, we got to be honest now. So
It's got to die, y'all.
these people are gun carrying.
Okay.
So I didn't see one gun, and that really made me weary. Like if I would have saw a gun, like if I was in a Texas or even when I was closer to like Gary, Indiana, people were open carrying. But that made me think even more that these people are really holding. Because like when you don't see it, that's when you know that they're holding. Plus, let me just say this real quick before I forget. So like the Hope Town police, they were saying that they got some of the most intense security in Orania. Because their building is like blacked out from like the outside, so you can't see in it. So they got cameras like everywhere, but you don't see the cameras either.
I like that.
So they're very legit. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Yeah. Because there are threats out there. There's
This
a
is
lot
South
of people.
Africa.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that don't mean you good. Me
Right.
either. I agree to a degree. I agree. But that may mean they got them bunkers too. They're smart people. There's
got
a lot
'em.
of smart people in the world.
They got
So
'em.
I don't have a problem. It's just like I said. It was some things that the interview brought up, the documentary brought
Yes,
up to
ma'am.
me, and I just needed to question that because I do think that it cannot stand the test of time the way that it is right now. I don't. And I don't know how it lasts this long because the world is getting closer. And some of them Western ways is just going to come on, stumble up over here. It is. It's
Okay.
happening. It's happening right now. We see it. Because guess what? I bet 10 years ago, you wouldn't even be able to go to Orania.
That's a good thing. I wonder, could I? I don't know. Because 10 years is 2015? Maybe 20 years.
I think 10 years ago, because guess what? Even the young men that you spoke to, in my opinion, both of them are relatively young.
Yeah, Mr. Yusuf
So
too.
when you were exposed to someone of age, you was met with resistance. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell us about that resistance. Y'all, if y'all go back and look at the video, Coop was met with a nice gentleman on a tractor, probably just having a very good day, but I don't know what it was. You were stopped. Tell us about the stop.
All right, so this was the day when I was supposed to be on my own, quote unquote. So Mr. Yusuf was like, Jackson, you're good to go. I was kind of looking like, are you sure? He was like, yes, you're good to walk through. So, lion mentality, walked through there, did my thing. And then I was like walking up this little side street and like the guys, mowing the lawn. And he stops me. He said, hey, no, he didn't say, hey, he started speaking in Afrikaans. So I was like, oh, shoot, this is great. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm super far from where I'm from. He's speaking in a different language and like a kind of like a semi-aggressive manner to me.
You knew it was halt.
Of course.
Okay.
It's big that she said that.
Universal.
This is big that she said that though, but it is universal. But us being from the States, you like really understand when it's a threat. So like that was when I put both of my hands by my side to like appear super non-threatful. I said,
Right.
sir. He said, he was Afrikaans. I was like, oh, shoot. So I said, can I call Mr. Hughes? He said, call him. Then he spoke in English then. So I called Mr. Hughes. I said, Mr. Hughes, we have a gentleman here who wants to speak to you, and this is kind of serious. So he said, put him on. So he put him on, and you could just tell he was saying stuff like he shouldn't be here pretty much. Because I was reading the comments. They were saying he shouldn't be here without like a liaison and things like that. But like I heard Mr. Hughes say respectful. So like I think Mr. Hughes was saying like this is like a respectful journalist here. Give him that pass to kind of walk through. But he didn't. So at the end, when I cut the camera, he said, Jackson, like, I'm sorry, but you just can't come back here. There might be some dogs. Some dogs that may get you. Now, I understood what that meant. That meant that if you come back here, we might put one up in you. Wow. Let's just be real.
Okay. And y'all go back and look at this video. It is perfect. I gotta say it. It showed, in my opinion, it showed Orania in a very good light. and it showed all sides of it. So it was very good that this older gentleman stated his case in the end. We needed to know. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you, Coop.
Thank you, Mrs. Sabu.
All right, guys, y'all go back and check out his video, and just keep coming back for more from Sabu. Y'all just stay tuned. Thank you.